Yes, you know you're supposed to call me when you're free. Yes. And I was at the service. Yes, that is Binyasi, eh? Oh. Yeah.
We are indeed living in extraordinary times. The threat of COVID and the damage it can do has now become very clear to all Kenyans and to many people globally. So we want to emphasize that the lives of our people matter. The lives of people in Western Kenya and indeed the lives of all Kenyans matter. And therefore, it is important that once we have recognized and we have seen that the numbers are surging, the COVID case numbers are surging, they are growing at a fairly rapid rate, it is important that we take a step back and call off the public engagements, the outreach that we have been having in Western Kenya, so that there is minimal exposure of Kenyan citizens to this COVID matter. We have all witnessed that there is a hunger, an urge from the people that they want to see us, they want us to talk to them, but this is the moment we tell them that as much as there's that anxiety, your lives are more important than us engaging with you. Your lives are more important. We can postpone the engagement because once you're alive, we shall be able to talk to you later. So right now, our appeal is that everybody needs to observe that. The gatherings we have seen, and particularly the special interest that Western Kenya has generated, is both a matter of consternation and also alarming, because the kind of activities that we have seen in Western Kenya are not being witnessed in any other part of the country. It's as if there's a general election in Western Kenya and there's no election in other parts of the country. So we are calling upon all responsible leaders that let us take a step back, let us protect the lives of our people first. That is what we want to really emphasize. COVID is causing damage. In some of the bigger economies, like the US, it is estimated that they're going to lose about 25% of their GDP to the effects of COVID. We are seeing countries like Sweden, they could lose up to 35% of their GDP targets. And what about smaller economies like Kenya? Maybe we might end up losing close to 50% or more of our GDP to the effects of COVID. So we need to focus. And we also want to urge the government, because they gave a moratorium. Even banks were told that let us give people a moratorium for about 3 months before you move into foreclose on the loans. It is becoming clear that COVID is going to be with us much longer. People have lost jobs. Others will continue to lose jobs. Factories may not be revived quickly. And therefore, at this point in time, we can only urge the government to reflect again on the unfolding events and bring the stakeholders together again so that perhaps this moratorium can be extended. Because right now, even if you foreclose, it is going to be very difficult for so many people. So these are issues that we believe the government should quickly look at. We support the president, and indeed it's important he has called for a meeting. Surprisingly, when he said he wanted this conference with the governors, some of the governors are now getting jittery. They are beginning to say, no, we are not ready for this week. Because what has happened is that some are masquerading all over the place, but they are not equipping the hospitals in their respective areas. They've been doing more politicking rather than providing for beds and facilities in their respective counties. And once the president says, can we now have another session to assess the preparedness of these counties, it is now turning out that they are engaging more in politics than being prepared to fight COVID. As for Western Kenya, we just ask some basic questions. Honorable Wetangula has raised some of them, that where are the instruments of the debt write-off? For Mumias, we say, why is the receiver there? If the debts have been written off, why is the receiver in Mumias? Because receivers come in because the institution is highly indebted and it cannot meet its obligations. That is why receivers are called in. So when somebody says debts have been written off and the receiver is there, this is a contradiction of reality. So these are the games that we are saying, you cannot go out there playing those games and risking the lives of Kenyans. We also notice that we talk of political gold rush, but we also are aware that a lot of gold reserves have been found in Western Kenya. They call it the Liranda Corridor, and it touches on Kakamega County, goes into Vihiga, goes into parts of Kisumu and even Siaya. And we also know there's granite, and this is found again in Bungoma and even in Vihiga, in all these areas. But as much as we are happy to see that resources are being discovered there, there are a few questions that Kenyans will want to know. Because we are informed that a company called Acacia was given the mineral rights in Western Kenya. I think the people of Kenya are owed some explanations. How was this company procured? Who are the owners of this company? Who are their local representatives? Was it a tender process? Was it an expression of interest that was advertised? What mining methods do they want to use? Do we have environmental impact assessment reports? If there's going to be compensation, is there any process that we can see that will bring out this? How do the counties benefit from this resource? Through royalties? Are they telling us there are some royalties? Are they gaining anything? And over and above that, when they said that they have found these huge deposits of gold, we now also have come to learn that the Acacia company has sold those mining rights to another company that is mining also in Tanzania. What was the consideration? When was this transaction? Because these are natural resources. When was this transaction undertaken? What was the consideration? And again, who are the people behind it? These are very important questions which must be answered. In this era that we are in, you cannot do things kichini-chini anymore. You have to come, put everything on the table, let everybody see it, let people understand, and then let them make their decisions. So these are fundamental questions, and no matter how many visits people will make, these questions ought to be answered. So we are appealing to the people of Western Kenya that let us take a step back, let us save lives first, let us protect everybody. We shall have other occasions in better times when there is no COVID threat to engage more fully. Right now, let us put the people's lives as priority number one. This is the message we are relaying today. Thank you.